no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me. Wage a war, wage a war, wage a war, wage a war against mediocrity. It ain't no friend to me.
We are waging war. Thank you all for joining us for another edition of Motivational Monday. I see we starting to get eyes to come on here. If you would, please share, like, please holler out here. I like to know who the hungry are. Hey, Elkie, thank you. You look like you're number one out there tonight. Thank you, Elkie. Please share this, like this. Let people know that the Motivational Teacher to the Masses is about to go live to break bread. With all my replayers, please fast forward about a minute and a half while I share this to all of my social media outlets. Thank you so much. I hope everybody out there is having an awesome afternoon. I see more eyes coming on. Hey, Charlotte, thank you for joining us today. Hope you all are having an awesome day tonight. It's going to be powerful. Hey, Pastor Senegal, thank you for joining us. Hey, Tina, man, I see the hungry are in here today. The hungry are in here today. Give me about 30 more seconds as I share this out to my social media groups. And please feel free to do like Elkie's doing. Please type names in and invite people. I know right now there's a lot going on throughout America right now. I want to come and bring some hope, bring some clarity to what's going on out here today. I am the motivational teacher to the mass. I'm built for times such as this. So please share, like, host watch parties. This is definitely going to be one that I think the world needs at this moment right here. I did my last video. I had over 1.1. Hey, Joy, thank you for joining us. I had over 1.1 thousand views from my last Motivational Monday, and I'm going to stick in the same vein, just talking about our thoughts and our attitude and how it's drive our success. Give me one more second as I share to my personal page. All right, let's get to it. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the motivational teacher to the masses. And thank you again for joining us for another edition of Motivational Monday. Where do I start? Where do I start? There's been a lot going on in this world since my last Monday. Everything from Jacob Blake being paralyzed, actually shot 7 times in the back by the police, from the protests of the NBA players deciding not to play because of the unrest that's going on in the streets. Right now in Portland, we have vigilantes going out stalking protester. We have rioting also. And this is not to forget that there's a national pandemic going on right now in this world. So there's a lot of things. Let me say it that way. There's a lot of things going on in this world that can easily shape how we think and can shape what we believe and can shape what we're doing at this present moment. But I came to shed hope tonight. Yeah, I did. I came to bring hope. Thank you for sharing. Thank you, Elkie. Thank you, Tina. I came to shed light tonight. I came to bring hope. And I know even right now, in the midst of an economy that people are continuously being laid off, I came to shed hope. Yeah, we're in this world, but we're not of this world. This world does not determine does not dictate how my relationship is with this world. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to break bread. If y'all missed Elkie, you did an awesome job the other night on your show with Jeff. You see people out here stepping outside the comfort zone. What's up, Angelique? See you was in the Rise Up Masterclass. I saw your YouTube, I think it was, this morning also. I see people that are on this list are doing very, very, very good things. I'm telling you right now, if you can be consistent with what I'm talking about, man, you can absolutely change your life forever and ever and ever. And we're going to bring that bread tonight in order to do it. Let's get down to this word. Awaken your I am. Episode 43. When I started Awaken Your I Am, it was only meant to be video. It was only meant to be one video when I started Awaken Your I Am. And here we are on episode 43 of Awaken Your I Am. I understand that message is not popular. This is not something that makes people want to run through closed doors and makes people want to break down walls. This is not a message that's meant to appeal to your flesh. It's not a message to appeal to your tenacity. It's not a message meant to appeal to your circumstances. It is a message that's meant to appeal directly to the part of you that identify with your Savior. And I'm going to take my time tonight, and we're going to break this bread tonight. This Awaken Your I Am, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you all that I'm in episode 43. I've had, oh my God, like God has been blowing my mind with some of the things that he's had cross my desk. Like I had an opportunity cross my desk, came across to me on Thursday, a huge opportunity that I'm telling you that it can change your family's life forever. Like it can literally change my family's life. It can literally change my children's life with the opportunity that was presented to me. And I did not go looking for it. Ladies and gentlemen, there is a place where there's a place where you can rest in what God has already given you. There's a place where you can attract manifestation to your life, man. Like I'm retraining myself as I'm doing this series. I always thought it was about doing. I've been told my whole life that it was about doing, do more, be more, do more, do more. And I'm telling you, there's a place where sweatless victory belongs to you. There's a place where your I am consciousness can be raised to a level that you begin to attract God goodness for you. Yeah, we lay down in green pastures. Like I'm telling you, there's a place, but ladies and gentlemen, that place is not easily found. I got to break bread right now. That place does not come without a fight. It does not come without a struggle. That place is not going to come without you having to lay down your life in order to pick it up again. That place is not going to come without you taking up your cross and walking daily. That a few, I started, man. I did it. I said many are chosen. Many are called, but few are chosen, ladies and gentlemen. It's the chosen few that's going to live in the land of milk and honey while you're alive. It's the chosen few that's going to have grapes. That they're going to have grapes the size of grapefruits. It's the chosen few that everywhere your feet shall touch, you shall own. Yes, Charlotte, you said it right. Yes. It's the chosen few, Tina. And I'm telling you, ladies and gentlemen, if you can hang in here with the motivational teacher to the masses, if you can make a commitment to you and make a commitment to your life and make a commitment to by sitting here with me, you're not only making a commitment to you, you're making a commitment to your children's children. This stuff that I'm giving you is good for your children's children. Trust me when I tell you this. This bread that I'm breaking is good for generations to come, ladies and gentlemen. Right now, today, you're making decisions that's going to impact your children's life. Hey, Beverly, thank you for joining us. Right here tonight, you're making decisions that are going to impact your children's life right now. And all of that right now is wrapped into your I am. Man, I'm about to break bread. Man, we talked about last week how thoughts are the language of the brain, or 2 weeks ago. Thoughts are the language of the brain. We talked about last Monday that emotions are the language of the body. Thoughts is the language of the brain. Emotions are the language of the body. Have you ever heard a person say, man, I was born this way, I'm going to be this way, and that's all, I can't help it? Are you sure about that? And is that person sure about that? Are you really born a certain way? Are you really born? Now, I'm not taking away that you're born with your gifting, you're born with your skills, you've been gifted from God. I'm not debating that point. But what I am debating is how much of our chemical makeup in our brain is from our environment versus from the Word of God. How much of what we see, think, and believe and choose is based on what we've been through and what we've seen in our past history versus as to what we know about ourselves through God. Come on, Charlotte. This is also an investment. If we exercise what we hear, you better believe it. This stuff is good for changing lives. My question, there's so many, I see it every day as a people manager where people underperform as a life coach. I see it every day where people underperform their talent. Or, hey, Courtney, thank you for joining us. Or they underperform their gifts based on what they believe about themselves that was shaped from their environment. I'm going to break bread right now. Your biggest enemy, our biggest enemy in our life is our past. Our nurture versus nature. You just said it, Angelique. Our biggest enemy is our past. About it. You got to go back and listen to those other two videos that I made. I went on a Sunday night and a Monday night of last week in order to be able to get this in its totality. You got to go back to those videos because I talked about how we've been hardwired. We've been wired from our environment to believe and think a certain way. Up until the age I was 35, everything that I processed it from the lens of poverty. I grew up in poverty. I did not know that poverty grew up in me, but I had a first divorce that came through the lens of poverty. I've lost jobs that came from the lens of poverty. Ladies and gentlemen, I didn't make it to the NBA because of my lens of poverty. I'm going to break bread right now. That lens of poverty, I didn't know it my whole life. That lens of poverty guided the majority of my decisions. Even the risks that I took and the risks that I didn't take were all guided by the lens of poverty. Thank you, Angelique. Those videos were fire. Hey, what's up, Rajetta? They were guided by the lens of poverty. My question to you is how many, I talked about it. You have 70,000 thoughts going through your mind, going through your head. And I'm going to take my time tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to massage this word tonight until you get it all up in your beautiful head. I'm going to massage this word all up in there tonight till you walk away saying, man, there's some things I need to change in order to become the better version of who I am. You have to give up who you are today to attain what God has for you tomorrow. You got to be willing to give that version of you up. This is who I am. Ladies and gentlemen, that version of who you are cannot attain God's best for your life. Why not trade it in for the better version of who you're supposed to be? I'm telling you right now, I wish, and all I could think about was the people that listened to me on these Motivational Mondays when I got that call from a person I did not know who got my name from somebody else, presented me with an opportunity that had a lot of zeros behind it. I didn't go out seeking for it. I didn't go out looking for it. I told you all, remember I told you all about a month and a half ago, before I used to send numbers that I didn't know the voicemail. But now I say, or screen them calls, I didn't know the numbers. But now I said, since I had an outstretched neck, I was expecting that I started answering calls that I didn't know the number to. This is a prime example. I did not know the number. And it showed up as just a regular number. I answered the number. Normally, I remember I told y'all 6 weeks ago I wouldn't answer it. But I answered the number because I'm expecting right now, man. My I am is awakened. I'm expecting right now. Like right now, my thoughts are in harmony with God's thoughts toward me. I'm about to break bread right now. My speech is in line with God's speech for me. I am about to break bread right now. Right now, my I am is being awakened because his I am is living through my I am. And that is an awakened I am. And see, there's so many people that process information so many different ways. Hey, Lori, thank you for joining us. Y'all, please like, share this. There's so many different people that process information so many different ways. Like I saw the Michael Jordan speech, and I'm moving into attitude. The Michael Jordan Hall of Fame speech, or if you want me to come closer to home, I sit there and I listen to President 45 and his Twitter rants. I sit there and listen, and I see how information passes through their brain. It passes through insecurity. Michael Jordan held a grudge from his high school coach that cut him. He's an NBA Hall of Famer, a billionaire, and he's at his Hall of Fame speech talking about all the people that mistreated him, all the people that said he couldn't. Mike, you got to let it go. And we cannot allow anger. You cannot be motivated in a place of rage, because that's not sustainable. You're going to eventually end up causing your body disease. We don't need to be pushed by our past. We need to be pulled by our destiny, our future. If you look at 45 in the White House with all his rents, Sleepy Joe, lock him up, all the rents, all those rents are from insecurity. I'm going to break bread tonight. All of those rents are from insecurity. 45 only cares about 45, and every position that he takes is all about him because he's coming from a place, he's wired from insecurity. And see, I'm telling you, until you become whole, ladies and gentlemen, If you get to the place where that's flowing with milk and honey, and you have not become whole in your mind, and you have not become conscious, or you have not become in harmony with your great I am, we can get to a place that technically we're positioned for, but we won't be prepared for mentally because we haven't changed how our brain fires. I'm going to break bread before this night is over. We haven't changed how we relate to information. I imagine that 45 is still insecure because daddy always talked to him about how he wasn't good enough, or how he didn't meet the standard, or how your older brother Fred was better. Maybe 45 is insecure because of what people said about him, that he wasn't good enough. You've had 3 bankruptcies, but I'm saying we got to change how we process information through this beautiful mind of ours. In order for us to change our life and the manifestation and the results that we're getting in our life, we have to change the way we process information in our own mind. Our biggest enemy is our enemy. Our biggest enemy is our enemy. Most, not all. Hey, Lady Queen, thank you for joining us. Most of us, we are tripped up by our own thoughts. Most of us are tripped up by our own emotions. When we have a thought is the emotion of the brain. Emotion is the speaking of the body. It speaks for the body. When you have an emotion and a thought together, it triggers a memory. And that memory becomes embossed in your brain. The more traumatic, the more stressful the thought or the emotion, the more likely you are to make decisions from that place, that embossed memory in your mind. Imagine, think about it. Most of the things we remember are the most traumatic things in our life, whether good or bad. Like I can tell you right now, I remember 9/11 when it happened, and I remember exactly where I was. I remember exactly what I was doing. I remember when I proposed to Crystal upstairs, because those memories are embossed in my brain because of the emotion that was attached to that thought. And see, most of us, to our thinking and to our thoughts, there are emotions that are attached to it. And every time we feel that emotion, or every time we have that thought or we feel that emotion, it automatically triggers that response. If some of us had a bad breakup with a spouse or with a girlfriend, boyfriend, and somebody else can say something that reminds you of that person, it triggers you back to that emotion, and you begin to treat that person, whom you don't know if they meant that or not, like that it's the older person that has been embossed in your brain. That memory, that thought that's been triggered in your brain is there permanently, that memory. And we behave, and we make decisions, and we create emotions, and we make behaviors based on that place in our brain. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you right now that the limitation on our life is based on those emotions, those thoughts, and those behaviors. We are where we are because of where our have landed us. But there is a place, ladies and gentlemen, be of the month, where you can have a husband or a wife. You, you there is a place. There is a place where you can walk in the totality of what God has for you. But in order to walk in that place, it is going to require you to have to rewire your mind, and to believe more about your I am, and to get more of what God said about me than what I believe about me. I just broke bread. I'm going to take my time tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to get through this word because I plan on blessing some lives tonight. There is a place, ladies and gentlemen, where the life that you see today can be radically changed tomorrow. There is a place, but it is going to require that you are intentional about every thought that goes through your mind. You have to take every thought captive, every emotion. You have to bring under subjectivity. Most of the stress of our body is based on, or let me say this, it's being triggered by thoughts of the past. Well, I wonder what my husband is doing today. I wonder what my wife is doing today. Or I wonder what my job is making cuts or they laying off. Well, I know we're in the midst of coronavirus and you're worried about all these different things that could happen when only 92% of the things that we worry about come true, but we're wearing ourselves out with mental energy. We're wasting mental energy on things that will not profit us anything. I always say, ladies and gentlemen, let nothing live in your mind rent free. If something is going to be in your mind, make sure that it's worth the thought. I just broke bread. Make sure that it's worth the thought. Make sure that it's taking you down the road that you ultimately want to be on. Yeah, think and act with intention. Everything comes down to intentionality. Let me get back to my notes. Our environment determines and it shapes what we believe. Our environment today sometimes determines what we believe. When God says we should believe his word, whose word are you going to believe? Is there anything too hard for God? Our answer should be, is there anything too hard for God through me? You are God's workmanship created unto good works. Anything that God is doing in this earth today, he's doing it through children of men. He's doing it through his sons and his daughters on the earth. Is there anything too hard for God? The answer is no. Is there anything too hard for God for you? The answer is no. We have to rewire our thinking to that. Let this mind that be in Christ Jesus also be in me. We have to rewire our mind, ladies and gentlemen. We got to get to the place to where I identify a situation. I'm looking at appreciate it. I'm breaking bread tonight. I'm going to take my time. I want to run right now, truth be told. If truth be told, I want to run because I am so thankful that God found me worthy enough to pass his word down through me. I'm so thankful that God has given me this Awaken Your I Am series in the midst of a pandemic. I'm so grateful that in this season right here, I have a word to liberate you out of everything you might be going through right now. I'm so grateful. Boy, oh my God, I got to take my time tonight. I got to take my time tonight. Situations come to locate where our heart is. I'm going to break bread. Above all else, guard your heart, for out of it flows the issues of life. Environmental stimulants come to locate your heart. A man doesn't know his own heart, but when you come into a situation or somewhere, it's something environmental. I call it your environment, a stimulant. When you come into my boss, when my boss gets stressed, my boss always act this way, and I always react this way. And see, that reaction is located where your heart is. Do I believe that God has really delivered me right here? Because if God has really delivered me from anger, if God has really delivered me from anxiety in this situation, I have new behaviors. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. If God has really delivered me from this situation, or if my mind has been changed. See, these stimulants come to really locate you, locate your heart. These stimulants or this environmental pressure doesn't come to take you out. I just broke bread. You thought the things that you went through were to take you out. I'm telling you, when you took one step forward, that situation was coming to locate your heart. Has my mind truly been renewed in that area? Has my mind truly been renewed in that area of poverty? When they said, oh, we're gonna lay off expert, we're gonna have a realignment, and that's gonna cause loss of jobs. That announcement find poverty inside of me. That announcement came to locate my heart. And I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, it found no poverty on the inside of me. You know what it found on me? God is my source. This job is my resource. And anything, God can make anything my resource. And I had a phone call last week where it was like, bam, that's more than I can ask or imagine, God, just that moment. So it only comes to locate you, ladies and gentlemen. You got to change your relationships. You got to change your relationship with this environment. Let me change that. You got to change your relationship with this world, ladies and gentlemen. You got to change it. You got to understand that you are the placebo. Boy, I'm gonna break bread tonight. You are the placebo. Everything that comes into your understand that. Oh my God. Understand. Understand that nothing can take you out. Coronavirus can't take you out. Cancer can't take you out. There's a hedge around your life. God has put a hedge around your life. God has put a hedge around your I am. Understand that this thing, that it wasn't meant to take you out. It only meant to locate where you are. Come on, ladies and gentlemen, I'm about to break bread right now. You got to understand that when I run out of money at the end of the month, it's not about me running out of money at the end of the month. It's about who's my source. When my husband or my wife doesn't treat me the way that I want to be treated, what husband, will I still love my wife? Wife, will I still submit to my husband, although I'm not getting the love and affection? That is God's word greater in my life than the stimulus or this world that's around me? Oh my God, I feel my help up in here. Oh, let me take my time, ladies. I'm ready to go on a rant right now. Do I believe what I say I believe? Yeah, I know they said I'm coming to repo your car. I know you're going down to get a coronavirus test, but whose word are you going to believe? It's not real. There is a hedge around your life. Believe you me, He's waiting on you to awaken your I am, and you stand up and you talk. Boy, don't you dare let the winds and waves take you off where you're going. We going to the other side. You better believe Jesus. Jesus underneath the boat right now. You got the great I am living on the inside of you. We're going to get to the other side. But you got to awaken your I am and understand that these stimulants are only meant to take you off center. And when this world confronts you with an issue, boy, I'm gonna break bread tonight. If you can hang in here for this Awaken Your I Am series, I'm telling you, your life will never be the same again. I'm telling you, you have a boldness and you have a confidence that's unexplainable to a man. Today, for example, we were on a corporate call, and the senior leadership were talking about diversity and inclusion, and then have one African American on the call. You know, I had to say something. Why? If this is a call about us and for us, why not include us? It's a stimulant, Anthony. Is your I am awakened enough to believe that you can speak truth to power? My question to you is, can you speak truth to power? Do you believe so much so in what God has given you that you're willing to stand up for what's right, although it has the ability to cost you what you've been praying for? Come on, man. I'm breaking bread. Dr. King said, until you have something you're willing to stand for, something you're willing to live for, you ain't started living yet. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. You got to awaken your I am. These situations that going on this earth are only meant to locate your heart. Man, I'm breaking bread right now. But when every man is tempted, he is drawn away from his own lust, and he's being enticed right now. When you're being drawn away and you want to snap on somebody, that's something that's drawing you away from the inside. I'm talking about awakening your I am. You can't truly have an awakened I am if you ain't growing and you ain't trying to become the better version of you. See, I'm showing you today that this stuff just locates where you're drawn away. When you're drawn away, it's not God trying to take something from you. It's him trying to give. It's like every time you realize that, man, I got to get better in this area, you ought to give yourself a shout of praise because you just got one step closer to your awakening. You got one step closer into getting everything out of this life that God wants to do for you. I know they told you coming up that it was all about sin. Don't do this and don't do that and don't do that. God is not trying to take anything from you. God is trying to get everything to you. Through your awakened I am. He's already seated on the right hand of the Father. It's about what are you willing to do while you're down here on earth in order to unlock my goodness for your life? What are you willing to do? Ladies and gentlemen, Psalm 30, Psalm 60, Psalm 100 fold. Who are you? It's to the degree that you're willing to awaken your I am. I've given you 100-fold on the inside of you. Don't be the Psalm 30, Psalm 60 when God has already given you 100-fold on the inside of you. It requires that you got to go into the lab and put a self-development plan to where I work on every area of my life that is not yielding fruit. See, this is the issue with the world. I'm about to break bread. When you know you got to change, that's the first step. Come on, Angelique. That's the first step. See, I got to break bread right here tonight. It's not good enough. I'm going to break bread. It's not good enough to have all the money in the world and lose your own soul. It's not good enough to be president of the United States and all you do is tear people apart. It's not good enough to be a CEO and the only thing you want to do is just work the people on the bottom to the death. It's not good enough to have all the money in the world and have a failing marriage. It's not good enough to be able to live your dreams and your goals and have your kids go astray. It's not good enough. God wants to build your life in harmony. So every area of your life where people look, they can see the glory of God in your life. I ain't got to tell you about the glory of God. Look upon my, come on, ain't that what he said? Ain't that what he said? Look at my works. You've seen me heal the sick. You've seen me raise the dead. You ain't got to listen to what I say. Look on my works. Boy, I'm breaking bread right here tonight. You need to tell somebody to look upon your works. You ain't got to believe what I say, but I tell you what, my marriage is whole. You ain't got to believe on what I say, but my house ain't being foreclosed. You ain't got to believe what I say, but we ride pretty good. You ain't got to believe what I'm saying, but you see I'm getting manifestation in every area of my life. Sometimes you got to say, hey, look at my works. Look at my works. Look at my works. And I'm telling you right now, even in the midst of the doggone storm, sometimes you got to say, look how I managed the storm. Look how I managed the storm. Yep, it thought, man, come on, ladies and gentlemen. They thought they had you. They thought they caught you in a lie. They thought they had catch you in a foreclosure. They thought they had you, but God, there's a hedge around your life. There's only so much there's only so far they can go when it comes to you because there's a hedge around your life. I need for you to start living as one who has all things are possible through God that lives through me. I need you to start looking at situations through a different lens. I'm about to break bread. You got to drop the lens of poverty. You got to drop the lens of insecurity. You got to drop the lens of I don't deserve to be loved. You got to drop the lens of hate. You got to drop the lens of rape. You got to drop the lens of molestation. You got to drop the lens of depression. You got to drop the lens of anxiety. And you got to open the lens of, is there anything too hard from God through me? That's how we rewire our life. We start passing information through the word of God and stop passing it through my this is real good. And stop passing it through my past. Man, I gotta break bread. Colossians 3:10 says, and have to put on the new self, which is being renewed in knowledge. You gotta put on, man, come on, ladies and gentlemen. Every morning, man, I'm telling you right here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I don't care if it's but one eye on here. I want you to be locked into this screen if it's one eye. I'm telling you right now, this stuff, in the midst of everything that's going on, you need this word. He said, put on the new self. Colossians 3, I'm not making it up. Put on the new self. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a daily job. You have to put on your new self every day. That's why I admire Angelique waking up at 5 o'clock going live. Why? She's putting on her new self. That's why you got to wake up 20 minutes, 30 minutes before the kids, and you got to say, Lord, I'm so grateful, grateful, grateful. You got to start the day with admiration and praise. That's why you got to start the day with your, I am bigger than my circumstance. I am bigger than any situation. Man, God, I can do all things through Christ who works through me. I'll never be broke, busted, and disgusted another day of my life. Abraham blesses, God, you cut a covenant with me. I cannot live in lack. You got to put on your new self every day. Every day you don't put on your new self, you lessen the hedge that's around your life. Every morning, the mercies are new. You got to put on your new self. You see, see, I'm telling you. See, this is where I think motivational speakers miss it. This is where I think inspirational speakers miss it. And this is why the teacher's here before you tonight. Until you put on your new self, you can never walk in the totality of the fullness of what God has given you. Yeah, I hear jump. You got to go for it. No, you got to go for it. You got to go for that new self every day. As you begin to put on that new self, you ain't got to chase the life you want. The life you want will begin chasing you. Ladies and gentlemen, I wish you knew that eyes have not seen. I wish you knew what God had laid up for you. But you got to put on your new self every day. You can't bring old problems, my bad. You can't put old wineskin in new wineskin. You can't bring old problems into these new lenses. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. I can't bring my yesterday pains to my today. I can't bring my yesterday hurts. Well, and you know, it just hurts so much. Ladies, you gotta pass it through a new set of lenses. You gotta change your lens. God's grace is sufficient for you. You gotta change your lenses. Greater is He that's on the inside of you. You gotta put on your new self every day. Come on, ladies and gentlemen. Well, do I have to be fake? If the real you ain't getting it done, put on the fake you and see if the fake you get better results. And it's soon the fake you will become the real you. I'm just telling you what he said. Put on the new self. You got to put on your new self. Right now, ladies and gentlemen, I am ecstatic about where I am, but where I am is not what God called me to. There's more for me. I got to break bread. There's more for me. So I got to put on my new self every day. The version of who I am today can't attain God's best for my life. The version of who you are today can't attain God's best for your life. Put on the new self, which is being renewed in the knowledge and after the image of the Creator. Ladies and gentlemen, I just gave you the keys to the kingdom. It's being renewed in the knowledge after the image of the Creator. Ladies and gentlemen, if you're not understanding who you are, if you're not understanding, if you don't have an awakened I am, if you don't understand the power and the authority that you possess upon this earth, you got to put on your new image. Your new image is made in the image and likeness of your Creator. You got to put it on. You got to let this past stuff go, and you got to begin to put on righteousness. Every morning you wake up, you got to grab a little hope. Every day you wake up, you got to put on love. Every day you wake up, you got to put on peace. Every day you wake up, you got to put on prosperity. He didn't say put on what you feel like. No, he said, which is being renewed in the knowledge after the image of the Creator. There's no lack in God. There's no hatred in God. There is no anxiety in God. There is no fear in God. You got to wake up every morning. I'm breaking bread right now. You got to wake up every morning and put your new self on. When you go to your job, you got to have your new self on. Understanding that it's for a season. When you begin to start your videos, Angelique, you got to put your new self on. Tina, when you start your next bling break, you got to put your new self on. And people will find themselves attracted to your new self. It's amazing. You got to put your smile on. I know right now you're in pain. I know right now your body's aching, but you got to put your smile on, ladies and gentlemen. I know right now you ain't got money at the end of the month, but you got to put your best shoes on, put your best shirt on, put your best pants on, and you step right now, ladies and gentlemen. You got to put it on. Boy, I'm laying it down right now. I am laying it down right now, which is renewed in the knowledge after the image. What image? Boy, God, you're so awesome right now. What image? The knowledge of the image. What image do you have of yourself? You see, all the knowledge we have flows through the past of what I've been through and what I've seen. But he said, no, you got to take that knowledge off. Boy. You got to take that image of you off. The image of you being hurt as a kid, you got to take it off. And your dad one day, and you didn't know your granddad, and your dad, he missed out on all your basketball games. My dad outperformed his dad. I had to put on a new image of who my dad was. I had to put on a new image. And this new image of me, it only allows for me to love my dad, that he outperformed what his dad did and gave me the platform to be able to outperform what he did, for me to love my boys in a loving way. What's up, Q? Yeah, man, you gotta put it on daily. I'm telling you right now, Everything that you want out of life, you got to put it on daily. You got to walk as one worthy. What is that dream you said you want? You got to walk as one. You got to put that person on today that can walk in that dream. You got to, because I'm breaking bread right now. Well, they said to be a Fortune 100, you got to have these 5 attributes. I'm telling you right now, you got to have an awakened I am. You got to put the attributes on daily for an awakened I am. That's in the image of your creator. That's in the image of your creator. He didn't leave you without a comforter. Breaking bread right now, ladies and gentlemen. I am breaking bread. This stuff is so good that it can take your DNA. Break your DNA down and build you God's DNA so you can begin to attract everything you want in your life right now. To the point where you begin to call shots in your own life. That's when you're walking in complete harmony with the great I am working through your I am, ladies and gentlemen. There is a place. Yeah. There's a place where you can get everything about this earth. I'm not leaving Jack. We look at Chadwick Boseman. We say 43. He's 43 years old. Chadwick Boseman has done more things than people that's 75 and 80. I ain't crying because he's not here anymore. I'm crying because there's some people here that did not leave their gift on the earth. I'm crying because there are people that we watch his movies and we yeah, we got all the moves down. He was 42. He was Jackie Robinson. He was Thurgood Marshall. And we look at the people of power that he played. But I'm not crying because he's gone. I'm crying for the people that's going to leave here and not leave a legacy and not leave their gifting. You didn't hear him complain about having cancer one time. Why? Because he put himself on daily. Boy, I'm breaking bread right now. And the person he put on daily did not have cancer. And you got to put yourself on daily in the same like manner and leave a legacy upon this earth. Trust me. Trust me. With a person that's on purpose, you can't leave this earth until your job is done. Boy, I just broke bread. You better stop worrying about dying before your time and begin to put your new self on. You better stop worrying about what could happen and put your new self on. Chad, he left a legacy that you and I, that my sons are talking about upstairs right now for generations to come. Don't cry because he's gone. Cry for the ones that been here and won't leave a legacy. They leave debt to their children. They leave bills to their children. Cry for those people. He left a legacy. And I'm telling you right now, it's God's best in your life to leave a legacy. You can't leave here until you leave your legacy. You better put your new self on daily. See, you didn't know you could put yourself on daily. You thought you came into this world one way, and that's the only way you can be. I'm telling you that whatever that thought came from is incorrect. That thought is a lie, and it came from the father of lies. That thought that said, above all, for you to prosper and be in good health, that came from your daddy. But the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. You got to be able to have. Let me change that. You have to be able to decipher where that information, what is the originator of that information. I'm telling you, put your new self on daily. If you put your new self on daily, you'll find yourself walking in manifestation that you didn't even know that was possible. I wish I could tell you about my call, but the time is not now. I wish right now. I know in some of you all's life, you're going to start, I'm telling you now, you start putting your new, man, only a few, I knew some people going, only a few people possess the discipline. Only a few people possess the desire. Only a few people possess the perseverance to wake up daily and put their new self, their new selves on. And doesn't matter what the environment brings to me, I'm going to react out of my new self. I'm breaking bread right now. I'm breaking bread right now. I'm going to make decisions from my new self. I can't snap on people like I used to because I put on my new self. If my spouse isn't treating me right, I can't treat that spouse wrong because they're not treating me right. Why? Because I put on my new self. I can't, when I feel bouts of depression or moments of anxiety, I can't succumb to that. Why? Because I put on my new self that is renewed in the image of Jesus, my creator. Man, this is some bread breaking right here. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to listen to this every day this week. I'm going to get the transcript. I'm going to doggone read it because I have to, I started this conversation. I have to get this word embossed in my brain to be able to create to get new neurons firing across synapses now to emboss this image of the new me in my brain. As I begin to emboss, or as I begin to embrace this new image of me, I make better decisions from that image, and it changes the results that I've been getting in my life because I now have I have new knowledge after the image of the creator. I make better decisions because instead of me just having that bracelet on my arm, WWWJD, now it's actually being transferred through my mind. What would he actually do? Because I'm being renewed in the image and the knowledge and image of him daily. I just broke bread, ladies and gentlemen. And this all this spiritual stuff. And I just want you to show me how to get to my wealth. I want you to show me how to get to the next level. I'm showing you how to get to the next level in every area of your life. Any area of your life where you any area of your life where you lack manifestation, put the new you on in that area of your life. Yeah, you're smacking that bread to pieces. You better believe it tonight. I'm gonna take that bread down. I'm gonna tear it apart. I'm gonna put that bread in the oven, and it's gonna come out as dressing in a minute, or some of y'all might call stuffing. I'm gonna repurpose this bread and put it in the oven. It's gonna come back and look like something totally different. That's the bread we breaking tonight, ladies and gentlemen. I'm telling you right now that there's something, man, I'm telling you, like the phone call I received. There's a phone call out there for you. I didn't know the human. I didn't know the person. I didn't know of the person. They called me because they got my name from somebody else that said I would be a great person for this opportunity. I'm telling you right now that there's a phone call waiting on your new self. There's a phone call. The version of who you are today is not in position to accept that phone call and your phone not ringing. But as you begin to put on your new self, you will find opportunities that normally you would have said no to because of your own self doubt or your own lack of belief in self that you would have said no to. But now because you know and understand that God is working in and through me to do the good of which he desired, then I know I got some stuff on the inside of me, ladies and gentlemen. And you got some stuff on the inside of you. Many say it, Q, but few want it. Rod, breaking bread. You better say that, Joy Angelique. You smacking it. I'm going to rub it down. Whoa, whoa. I'm going to bring it to your house tonight. Your life can be radically different. Your I am can be radically different. But it is, like Q said, it is a conscious, deliberate decision that you have to decide, I want that version of me more than I want the version of who I am today. I just broke bread. Money ain't your problem. Finding somebody to love you ain't your problem. Starting your business ain't your problem. Your relationship not being good it ain't your problem. The only problem that a man, come on now, I am about to break bread. The only issue that a man has is with his own I am. Nobody. I sit there and I look and I cry for Jacob Blake. And I sit there and I cry for George Floyd. I sit there and I cry for Breonna Taylor. I sit there and I cry for Ahmaud Arbery. I sit there and I see all the unrest. But ladies and gentlemen, you know who possess the answers? We do. We have the answers to all the problems. It's inside of an awakened I am. It's inside of an awakened I am. I can't, man, I'm telling you right now, as much as I hate what's going on in this country, as much as I hate how my brothers and my sisters are being treated, I cannot allow, listen to your boy now, listen to your boy. I cannot allow the triggers of the past to cloud my decision making. You got to hear me on this. It's going to take an awakened I am to solve these issues. One that is built in the, I can't allow my emotions to overtake my new self that's being renewed in the knowledge. I can't allow my emotions to overtake that. Do I cry? Yes, I cry. But I can't make decisions from that position of emotionalism because it overtakes my new I am. In order to have answers, you have to be of sound judgment. You have to be of one as clear heart and clear thought. You have to be able to want to mediate both sides. That's what made Martin Luther King so masterful. That's what made it so masterful, is that he was able to convince both sides that there has to be a new way of thinking. There has to be a new way of carrying ourselves. Ladies and gentlemen, there are problems right now that persist in your life and in your job, or in your business, that are opportunities, but you got to awaken your I am to be able not to react through your emotions. Remember, I told you in the beginning, all emotions are thoughts that are attached with an emotion that is embossed with an environmental situation in your mind. We react not because of the situation I see today, but we're reacting that way because of the situation I have embossed in my brain that reminds me of where I am today. It's not the situation today that caused you to react that way. It's the situation in the past that caused you to react that way. Put on your new self, and you get new behaviors, ladies and gentlemen. I got some people chiming in here. Angelique, we have the answers. You have E equals MC square. It's been in us the whole time. We got all the answers. Revelation says it will get worse. And I have no doubt, Q, that it will get worse. But I am in this world, but I am not of this world. That doesn't mean for me. I know they say it rains on the just as well as the unjust, but not me. No, not me. I'm in Goshen. I'm gonna live on top of the world. And somebody who got an ear, let her hear what I said. I'm in Goshen, man. I'm not affected by what goes on in this world, man. Like the NBA is in a bubble, I got a bubble. Like the NBA bubble, they keeping them safe for Corona. I got my own bubble, and it's called the Great I Am lives on the inside of me. That my I am has been awakened. I got my own bubble. My bubble, come on, boy. My bubble lives out of what I say. My bubble is created out of what I think. My bubble is created out of what I do. I ain't worrying about none of this world problems, dog. It can't see me. Greater is he that's on the inside of me than he that's in that world. I got my own bubble. You better say it. We are covered. You better believe it. When they see you, Q, they got to pass over. Soon. It cannot come near us. See, some of us need to adopt that language in our life. It cannot come near me. That's a part of my awakened I am. Look, I keep going back to it. That's a part of my new self. That's a part of my new self. Success and prosperity follows me. That's a part of my new self. Health and healing follows me. That's a part of my new self. God is enlarging my territory. That's a part of my new self. You better put that new self on daily, ladies and gentlemen. If you want something different, you better put it on daily. We broke some good bread up in here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Angelique, Passover. Yes, sir. Rod, yes, Passover. Passover. I like that word, boy. Y'all took me to a whole nother place. But I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, you are, man, I got to say it this way, though. Sometimes some of this stuff, man, it shocks me to say it this way. You are your own solution. You are your own solution. Once you begin to believe that you are the answer to every problem in your life, and believe it or not, us together are the answer to every problem that persists in this world. Then we begin to take authority back from this world and put this world back in its rightful place. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the motivational teacher to the masses. And tonight, I have given you the teacher all night. This word that I just broke bread with tonight is good for changing generations to come. If you don't hear anything else I've said the last 5 years, if you can take this, meditate on it, eat this, you could create whatever you want out of your life. Man, I just broke bread. You can create whatever you want out of your life if you just if you're bold enough, if you have the discipline to begin to apply this to your life every day. Many are called, but few are chosen. How do I know whether I'm chosen or called? The chosen ones know how to answer the call. I just given you the call tonight. It's time for the chosen ones to take the baton and run the race. You all have been amazing tonight. I want to thank y'all. Angelique, thank you so much. I want to thank you all for spending some time with me, lending your time to me. I know you could have been doing 1,000 different things with your time. I never take your time for granted. I think it's a blessing. And I promise you, I will never show up unprepared and unwilling to break bread when I'm on here. I will not take your time for granted. So thank you so much for your time and your presence tonight. And until next time, I am challenging you to wage war on mediocrity. I'm out.